When life has gone and ran its course and you go face God, he's not going to ask you, why weren't you acting like this person? Why weren't you behaving this way? Why didn't you do what everybody else is doing? He's going to ask you, why weren't you being yourself? And I get it, because we go through so much conditioning where as children, yes, we are our most authentic selves. And over time, I want to say, like, before we even hit double digits, we start to become a little bit more conscious of ourselves. And so we get so much conditioning done onto us, so many beliefs, ideologies, so many people are telling us who we are, because believe it or not, subconsciously, the reason we are here is to seek ourselves out. So as a child, if you do not have a parent instilling affirmations in you, which most people do not have because of generational curses or trauma or generational wounds that get passed down a lot of the time, most people don't have their parents actually pouring like the right, I don't know the word I'm looking for right now, y'all. I literally just got up, literally. A lot of people don't have their parents pouring into them, in so many words. And so what that means is, if you go to school and your parents aren't telling you, you are beautiful, you are bold, you are brave, you shine so bright, and you go to school and kids are putting you down, you would believe more of what those other children are telling you, and your self-esteem gets torn down. So in order to kind of like cut the bullying back, you take matters into your own hands and you start to put a mask on and cover up who it is that you are. Cover up what it is that they're saying about you. Or you could be eating something and somebody would make a comment about the way you eat, and now you change everything about you. But it's the most natural aspects about you, the parts that just come freely without you having to think about being a certain way. Hi, Papa. The parts that come freely without you having to, and I just seen 222 on the timer. But it's the parts of you that just come naturally, that you do not have to force. I actually had 2 videos, and there's a beautiful green butterfly. Fun fact, the minute I came out here, I was greeted by the biggest lime green butterfly, and I just took that as a hello from God as I get my day started. Even though I'm thinking about going to sleep after this, but now that I'm out in the sun, I'm not really sure. I kind of want to get up and get my day going. But anyways, yeah, I didn't think I said it, but good day to you all, grand rising. But yeah, like, and over time, the more things people say about you, you just put on more and more masks, and you cover yourself until the point where you have now become a stranger to yourself. You have become so far from yourself. The only way to live your most authentic life is to take that mask off. The only way is to knock down those beliefs and ideologies and judgments and opinions that have been placed upon you since childhood. Really knock them down and don't see them as true. I don't want to say no names, because yeah, but there is someone in my life who clearly has been burdened with the opinions and judgments and beliefs of others on how that person should feel about themselves. And I realized they said it out of their mouth last night, like this about, like, because it is a black person, and so they were like, my hair is nappy, I gotta keep perming my hair, because my hair, that might have gave away, but they was like, well, not me, but anyways, they were like, my hair is nappy, I gotta keep perming my hair. And I was like, no, you just gotta learn how to take care of it. My hair is thick too. I wouldn't call it nappy ever in my life. I would call my hair nappy. Tangled, yeah, it gets tangled from time to time if I'm not taking care of it correctly, but nappy, never that. Like, that is such a horrible word to use to describe your hair. And it's important that we have a great relationship with our hair, because our hair is our crown, and through our crown chakra we receive messages from God. We receive knowledge from God himself. So imagine if you have a horrible relationship with your hair, if you're not taking care of your hair, if you feel bad about your hair, then you start to cover up your beautiful crown by doing these other things to your hair. Listen, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Natural hair care in the African American or black community, or people with what am I talking about? People with textured, tightly coiled or curled hair, in so many words. But I realized the whole moral of that story was, like, I realized you don't think your hair is, I wanted to say, oh, look at this beautiful butterfly, hello. love that. It was literally right here. That's the second time a butterfly has gotten close to me today. That was so beautiful. The secret to attracting butterflies is not to chase them. It's to water your own garden so that they come to you. Literally, bro. And I said that in the video that I scrapped. I was like, the secret to getting what it is you really desire out of life is not to go and chase it externally, because God takes care of your external reality. Everything that you have now is because God has put it there. You do not need to go and seek anything out externally but new experiences with the things that you already have. You understand? The way to attract what it is you really desire is to open your heart up even more, and is to literally, dang, I should make more videos when I wake up, because like I'm not really having any mental roadblocks. Anyways, but the only way to attract the things that you truly desire is by growing internally, by watering yourself, by healing your wounds. And you will realize that as the more and more you heal and grow, the better your mental health gets, the better your mental clarity as well. And then you start to see all these other things just manifest into your life, and you're like, wow, thank you, God. But back to what I was saying, yeah, I got to start making videos more often when I get up, because I'm not forgetting anything. And why are there police sirens going off at 10:30 in the morning? What's going on? Who needs help? It's 10:30. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But like to back to what I was saying. That person had those opinions placed on them, and one thing I realized is that one thing I know for sure, we are beings of love and light. We are pure consciousness. God is the infinite source of love and light and pure consciousness, right? That is God. That is what he is. He is energy, infinite energy source. We are a piece of that energy source, so we are a limited, I don't want to say limited, but we are an individual version of God, right? Meaning everything about ourselves, everything about our truth will be surrounding the basis of love and light. So you have to think to yourself, anything negatively that you believe about yourself is not the truth. And you know what that person said? I was like, that's not true. You just got to take care of your hair. They were like, no, it's just nappy. It's the truth. I'm like, don't you ever slander the truth like that ever again in your life. I'm playing. But like I keep trying to say, okay, that person truly does not believe that their hair is nappy, but that belief has been placed upon them. So now, and they have accepted that belief that came from somebody else. That belief came from somebody else who believed that their hair was nappy, and then they was like, you know what, it does be a little bit hard to manage. Yeah, it might be. And so they accepted that belief, and now it's so deeply rooted within that person that it's almost it's manifested into reality. You understand? Because a seed, when it's planted in the ground, you cannot see it above the ground. So that means it's been planted. That energy has now been created, and it has the potential. Just like trees start from a seed in the ground. You literally cannot see it when it's in the ground. But look at this, you can't see it, but there's this big, beautiful tree right here. And I love looking at this tree every time I come outside. And it is so big. That tree started from the tiniest seed, probably the size of my freaking pinky nail. And it's so gigantic, and it is deeply rooted. And in that person's mind, I see those negative seeds as this tree. That negative seed grew, and it's not even a tree, it's more like weeds. It grew and it became something physical. And the more and more it got watered by that belief, because the only way to water your beliefs and water what it is you are manifesting is with consistent thoughts, actions, and pouring yourself into it, meaning emotions. Like if it's a negative seed, it will take, and look at those two butterflies. I don't know if y'all know this, but like when two butterflies, hi, and it's back again. When two butterflies get real close to each other, I like to call it dancing, and I love seeing butterflies dance. They'll be on the ground, right, and then they just start circling each other, and they go up and up and up and up and up into the sky, and then when they stop, they just they just go back down to the ground and do their own thing. But it's so beautiful to see them dance. I don't know if y'all have ever witnessed it, but when you just sit outside, to me, I be seeing like a bunch of little green butterflies do it, or sometimes it be like the big, I love seeing the big colorful butterflies do it. And there's a lime green butterfly over there, and there's two dragonflies. Anyways, that is definitely an experience I suggest that you have in life. Just observe nature, and hopefully you'll see two butterflies and they'll come together and they'll be doing this to each other, and they'll go up, and then boom, it's so beautiful. Stop tearing up my shoes. This boy loves tearing up my shoes. But no, like, what I'm trying to say with that whole story, because I feel like I just spent the whole video explaining that whole story, you have got to pull out those weeds of negativity. You have to think to yourself, catch yourself, observe your thoughts, and ask yourself, is this something that makes me feel bad? If it does, you gotta let it go. Is this something that is a negative judgment or opinion about myself? Because whether that belief came from you or not, you still accepted it, and you still chose to plant it with consistent thoughts, action, and pouring emotion into it by feeling negative whenever you think about that thing. That's how you water it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the easiest way I can tell you to take off these masks, like I explained earlier, is to water yourself. Not trying to do the other things on the external reality. For example, that person's hair. Instead of trying to do all these things to their hair, maybe just learn to love yourself. That's just a suggestion. But literally, when you learn to love yourself, all those masks come crumbling down. And I had a moment like that last night where I noticed I was putting so much pressure on myself, because for me the masks are off, right? Because I have learned to love myself. Like, you take those masks off, all those masks that you have put on yourself over the years, they come off with love. And for me, I was pressuring myself. I noticed it yesterday that I was like, dang, I was feeling resistance because I wasn't going with the flow of the universe, because I was like, dang, what am I doing wrong? I kept asking myself, what am I doing wrong? And you know what I decided to do? Fun fact for anybody out there, when your head is in your butt, let me not say that. I'm gonna leave that in though, but when your head is just riddled with thoughts to the point where you're not really getting much done, and you're moving kind of slow throughout the things that you're doing because you're thinking so much, stop for a second. Just stop, breathe, just focus on your breathing. Because when you are taking any kind of action consciously, whatever else is going on in the background kind of gets drowned out just a little bit, or a lot, depending on how deep you're breathing, right? So just focus on some deep breathing, and then once you find that moment where the thoughts aren't so consistent, you get up and you move your body. And I decided to get up and start dancing, and then this one song called Am I Wrong came on, and then it hit me, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything wrong. This whole time I have been loving myself, learning. I have been loving myself, learning, committed to learning, committed to growing, committed to bettering myself. Like, these are commitments in my life that are strong. You understand? They're not going anywhere. It's not going to be a day where I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to grow no more. Absolutely not. I have committed myself to growing a relationship with God and getting closer and closer with Him. Like, to my perspective, I am doing everything right, and the sun is getting higher in the sky, so the lighting is looking a little weird. But as long as you are just loving yourself, learning, growing, healing, all of those beautiful things, you are doing everything right. Trust me. Because like I said, all you have to do is work on yourself. Let God take care of the rest. That's it. That's literally it. And if you're doing that, then do not worry about what's next. The definition of patience, because I feel like a lot of people forget this, and even I forget this at times, so I'm not going to throw everybody else under the bus and act like I know. I actually just reminded myself, I believe it was yesterday as well, that patience means to accept that something is going to happen, yes, but it'll happen at the time that it's meant to happen, not instantaneously or whatever the case may be. It will happen when it is destined to happen. That is patience. and you may not know that time, so you must still be patient. And another thing that I really wanted to talk about is how people say when you're growing, right? Of course we grow and we learn through new experiences, of course, and like bettering ourselves. You got to do something different and, you know, change your life for the better. And I have said this on the channel, but I want to take back this saying that I've said, because that's a sign that I've been growing. Like, I've literally been growing and working on myself, because the fact that I realized the error in my ways back then, and I realized I'm on a different mindset than I was back then when I was saying that. Back then I used to say you gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable. And then I actually pondered that saying for a while. And you know, I've talked about the subconscious mind so much on this channel, and the subconscious mind controls 90% of our whole entire lives. The conscious mind is just us just being conscious. Like the fact that I'm just able to see and just live, and that's the conscious mind. It's just kind of like, okay. But the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, is the one controlling. And so, okay, here's how I'm gonna put it. The conscious mind is the game. Say you're playing a video game, right? The conscious mind, better yet, I don't know if everybody plays video games, but I'm sure everybody has seen a movie, right? The conscious mind is the movie. You understand what I'm saying? The movie you're watching. You're seeing this happen. Well, in the movie, the character is doing this, and then say it's a scary movie. You're like, girl, don't go in there. And you know that something's about to happen. Like, you are the observer of the movie. That's the subconscious mind, right? The observer of the movie. The conscious mind is the movie itself. So as the observer of the movie, we can kind of figure out how something is gonna go depending on the setting and the circumstance and everything like that. But you are not your circumstances. But in so many words, I don't think that was a good idea. Okay, back to the video game. In so many words, you are the controller. The subconscious mind controls everything. The video game is the conscious mind is the actions of the controls that you are using. You understand what I'm saying? So the video game is you consciously. The subconscious mind is you playing the game, because whatever you do with that controller, whatever actions you take, that controls your conscious reality. You understand what I'm saying? And so what I'm trying to say with all of that is your subconscious mind controls your thoughts. It controls the way you view other people. It controls the way you view yourself. It controls the way you view your life. Your subconscious mind is literally the source that you need to be searching for when you're trying to heal and do any kind of work on yourself. You need to get deep into that subconscious mind, and the main way you do that is through meditation. I'll be telling y'all, I still remember the first time where I felt like I meditated successfully, and I felt I was never the same after that. I'm telling y'all, that's one of those experiences in life that is life changing. Once you do it and you actually tap into your soul, which means you tap into God for real, like God, you never be the same after that. You will never, all you want to do is just seek out more and more peace, just like that ever since. I'm telling y'all. But pretty much what I was saying with all of that is, all you have to do is just be committing yourself to learning, living, growing, loving, healing, and just growing closer to God, and He will take care of everything outside of you. You understand what I'm saying? But what was I saying with all of that? Yes, the same with the uncomfortability, right? Or the uncomfortableness. I don't know the right word, but the saying, get comfortable being uncomfortable. As someone who is well aware of my subconscious mind and the power of the subconscious mind, I realized that we are actually very logical creatures by nature. Humans are a type of logical animal, just like crows. Crows are very, very smart. They're not like, they put 2 and 2 together and they get 4, not just, you know what I mean? They don't have bird brain. And so in so many words, we are actually very logical. And what that means is we can be quite literal as well. I don't know what's going on with my neighbors. I don't know what they're working on. Like I said, it's about 10:30. It's probably going on 11 now because I've been recording for 20 minutes. But the word uncomfortable, when we think about being uncomfortable, we think about feeling unpleasant feelings. For example, if you are itchy, that's uncomfortable. Imagine being itchy, and my leg is itching right now. Like, that's kind of uncomfortable. So if we tell ourselves, I gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable, that's like telling yourself, I've got to get comfortable being itchy all day long. I've got to get comfortable being constipated all day long. I've got to get comfortable feeling too hot or too cold all day long. And you see how now when you actually use words that trigger or I've got to get comfortable feeling like I gotta sneeze all day long. You see how actually putting that word into examples makes things clearer for us? You understand? So subconsciously, that is what you're telling yourself when you say get comfortable being uncomfortable, which is why for me, I've realized, I can't speak for everybody else, but I've realized that when I've told myself that never really motivated me to grow, never really motivated me. I mean, I was always seeking out growth, of course, but that never was that type of encouragement or that type of pep talk that was gonna get me to be like, okay, I gotta do this. That never was that. Instead, I would rather say, oh, that's a yellow butterfly. I'd rather start saying to myself, get comfortable with miracles happening daily. You understand? Get comfortable with change. Because in order to grow, there has to be change. We have to get comfortable with change. That's really the main thing about all of this, is getting comfortable with change, not getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Because we as humans, when there's too many changes, or like, I think a change every once in a while is not bad, but when we know that we have to grow and that the life we're living now, the reality we're living now, is nothing like the reality we want to live, we become aware of the fact that there has to be many changes, and that can be overwhelming to think about that from where we are now. We can think like, dang, that's a lot of changes, that's overwhelming. But we also have to remember that these changes will happen over time. They will not be instantaneous. So you have to have patience with yourself and allow yourself to grow gracefully and beautifully in your own way. Don't try to grow the way the next person is growing, or the way Sarah May is growing, or the way John Lou is growing. Like, it's no point for that. You understand? Because they're two different beings of light and love. Instead of getting comfortable being uncomfortable, maybe start saying to yourself, I'm getting comfortable with change. I allow change into my life. I accept change into my life. I allow myself to be patient. And these are the affirmations that you have to say to yourself, because these are seeds that you're planting in your mind. And with consistent thoughts and taking action on these seeds and feeling positive emotions as you say these affirmations, will only allow these seeds to grow into beautiful trees where you can see them be big and they're not going anywhere. Just like my faith in God, there is nothing in this world that can happen to me or to anybody or to anything where I will feel like God doesn't exist, because he be talking to me. And that's another thing. I'm gonna say this for and then I'm gonna end this video. And I'm gonna just open up a little bit. A few days ago, I prayed to God, and I was feeling a lot of resistance and a little bit of blocking, not a lot, but a little bit of blocking in my heart chakra and my throat chakra as well, which meant I wasn't speaking up my truth, as well as my heart was feeling it wasn't feeling warm. You understand what I'm saying? And I opened up to God about it, of course, because who better to vent to than God himself when he knows exactly the answers you're looking for. And ever since I literally prayed to God about this, God has been talking, man. He been yapping. I'm playing. But he has been chit-chatty, okay? And I told him, I was like, God, it got to a point, oh, look at that butterfly. It got to a point where I always talk to God, but it was like just a little bit of stagnation in my life. And I told him, I was like, I feel like I can't hear you, God. I feel like you're not talking to me. I'm like, I talk to God every day, every night. I literally was talking to him before I recorded this video. And I feel the need to say this because I feel like I'm being guided to say this, so I'm gonna roll with it. And I told him, I started crying so much, and I was like, God, I just feel like I can't hear you. Like, I don't know if you're talking to me. Am I doing something right? And then I prayed about it, and then I kind of forgot that I prayed about it until just this moment. But last night I had a moment where I was talking to God, and I actually seen something, because I get my quotes of the day from the description. I just open Pinterest and I just see a message that I just know somebody needs to hear, and I'll like copy it and paste it right into the description. And so when I went on Pinterest, I seen something that was like different ways that the universe talks to you. And I completely forgot that I even told God that I felt like I couldn't hear him. So it was like, it happens in synchronicities, numbers, signs, animals. Somebody might say something that kind of just is like, what did you just say? Like, and another thing. Okay, let me finish talking, then I'm really in this video. This video is going on 30 minutes. But yeah, and that yesterday night when I was talking with God, I had so many aha moments. And the first time that I knew that God was for real listening and responding to me was I was talking and I had a realization about something, and then all of a sudden, like, someone's house light on their front porch, it came on, and then I immediately knew, light bulb moment. And God was pretty much telling me, girl, you're right on the money, girl. And I was like, and I was so shocked, because I was like, God, you're listening to me. And it made me feel good, because I guess my whole life I just wanted to be heard. I just wanted somebody to talk to and open up to and just be my complete self without having to have a mask on, which is why I quite like isolation and solitude, because nobody's judging me for me, and I've learned to accept myself in this time period. But I also wanted to say, and then I'm really in this video for real, I'm so serious. But you a real one if you're still watching, man. I really love, I love anybody and everybody who watches the videos, but if you're watching, it's more love to you. Don't tell the people who clicked off early. But it was a few days ago, I want to say 3-4 days ago, and I was talking to God, and I had another moment, and I was like, God, are you proud of me? Like, if you're really proud of me, God, I want you to show me a sign that I cannot miss, whatever that sign looks like. And then I was like, you know what, let me get more specific on what sign I want to see, so that way I can't mistake it. Like, if you ask God to show you a red ball as a sign, and you see that red ball and you still question it, I don't know what to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? But if you just ask God for a sign, you know, you might be questioning it. So it's important to get very specific when you ask God for signs. And I told him, I was like, God, if you're really proud of me for how far I've come and the things I'm doing, and look at this butterfly, it's so big, oh my gosh. And I told him, if you're really proud of me, then I want to hear, whether it be if I'm listening to music or watching a video or watching a show or a movie or listening to someone talk, right? I want to hear the words, I'm proud of you. It doesn't matter the context, but I want to hear those words, I'm proud of you, right? Then I got up, because I was sitting by the water. Then I got up and I journeyed on back home, and I was listening to a video. Now, I was just listening to that video, just paying attention to it. And then all of a sudden, in the video, the woman says, God is proud of you. And I stopped dead in my tracks. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I think that came shortly after that, because that was a few days ago. And mind you, I think I prayed about not hearing God like last week, y'all. So that was a few days after that prayer, and I didn't even remember that I prayed about it till now. And the fact that God is really always listening, and he's always talking to you, but in order to hear him, you have got to silence out those thoughts, man. You have got to silence them out, man. Breathe and move your body. Do something with your body in a positive manner, so that way you can hear what God is saying to you. And the closer and closer you get to God, the more likely you are to hear them, and the more likely you are to not overthink what he is saying to you. When you get a sign, you take that sign. You understand what I'm saying? For example, butterflies and dragonflies butterflies represent change, and dragonflies represent not being who you used to be, right? And I've been seeing dragonflies. Like I said, in order to bring in anything that you desire on this world, externally, outside of yourself, you've got to change who you are within. You've got to grow. You've got to heal. And the fact that I've been seeing butterflies and dragonflies just means that I am changing, growing, and becoming somebody who I am not at the moment. Like, I am growing into a new version of myself. I am becoming somebody who I'm growing out of this version of me who I used to be, and I'm becoming a version of me that is even better in so many words. And these are signs God is telling me, you are doing it. You are doing exactly what you need to do. we have this mentality. Man, I could really keep talking, man. It's something about recording videos as soon as I get up, because it's like if as soon as I get up and my brain don't start powering up and doing other things first, but I just come out here, put on some clothes, tie my hair up, and I just start talking, I really be yapping. I really want to keep this video going so bad because the sun's not out, and y'all know I usually record the videos when the sun is setting, but the fact that the sun's still not directly over me, but it's getting there. It's literally got like, I would say inches, but a few miles, literally speaking, before it's over my head, because to me it looks like inches, but to the sun it's like miles. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching to this video, man. I really could keep going and just keep talking, but if there's anything I want y'all to take from this video, is it's safe for you to take your mask off, okay? The only person who wants you to be, the only person who you should be trying to please is God, literally, and yourself. Like, literally just be yourself, literally, because when you get to God, he's not gonna say, why weren't you conforming to other people's opinions and judgments about you? He's gonna tell you, he's going to ask you, why didn't you just be yourself? All you had to do was be yourself and you would have lived your best life. All you had to do was just be your authentic self without judgment. Like, I used to, okay, I'm gonna really say this last thing and I'm gonna get off here. Fun fact, when I first started this channel, I was wearing a little bit of a mask. For the most part, my most authentic self was showing, but I believe that my true character shows in my videos now. Like, I used to really cover up. I used to edit out a lot of the silly things I would do and say because of fear of being judged about who I really was, and just how I can just be very playful and silly. And I used to think, and that wasn't that funny, I shouldn't say that. Or the parts where I would get like a little emotional, I would edit those parts out. I just want to show people that you can still be a real authentic human these days. Like, you don't have to act like you don't have to act like you're not who you are. You understand what I'm saying? You can just be yourself, and if people judge you for that, then don't take it personally. That's another thing I had to teach myself, is not taking things personally, because anything that someone says to me out of their mouth is a projection of what's going on inside. Now, anything that I say out of my mouth to you is a projection of what's going on inside. I have these days in my life, where I am in my life, I don't speak negatively about people, because a healthy mind does not speak ill of others. And if I feel like I'm not in the best headspace, like, I've really been working on myself, like, to the point where I'm not really judging people. Like, I'll see people, like, one of my convictions on life is not dressing what I believe to be half naked out in public. And I'll see people in the grocery store looking that way, and I'm like, oh, the old me would have just been like, you should be ashamed of yourself. But wishing shame on somebody is me placing judgment onto them from something that's coming from within. And I just had to learn, like, let people do what they gotta do. It's their life. It's not affecting me in any way, shape, or form. Anything that another person does should never have an effect on your life. Anything that they say to you or even do to you, yes, it will cause some emotions and feelings to rise, but at the same time, never take anything personally. Don't. And that's how we get these masks. That's how we start to put these masks on, because nobody teaches us as children to not take things personally. When I do bring a child into this world, instead of putting Cocomelon on the screen and whatever other kids shows there are, I'm gonna just play my videos. I'm gonna be like, here, watch this. There's something for you to learn here. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and pretty much the topic of this story is it's safe for you to take your mask off and just be yourself. It's safe for you to live authentically, man. The judgments coming from others and opinions coming from others have no effect on you whatsoever, unless you say, this is going to affect me. That's all, that's it. Literally just be yourself, just shine. Like, whatever it is, if you think something is funny, say it. If you think something is not funny, don't laugh. If you think something, if you don't like the taste of something, don't pretend like you like it. If you don't like a certain show or a movie, don't pretend like you like it, because in so many words, don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Just be yourself. If you're going to be anybody in this world, right, there are 9 billion souls here. Every single soul is trying to, most souls, are trying to be someone they're not. Because, fun fact, although the greater collective of this planet is awakening to their higher selves, still a good gaggle of people have not awakened. And it will happen in due time, of course, as does everything. But you could just be yourself, because you can't and nobody could replicate. Hello, white butterfly. It's so easy to be what other people are portraying. You get what I mean? But just be yourself. Like, the cat is rubbing against me, so I'm getting a little bit. Let me go feed him real quick. In so many words, think of it like a blueprint, right? It's so easy to follow the blueprint. It's so easy to follow the blueprint that other people have drafted, because you see it directly in your face. But in a world where everybody is following that one blueprint, you be the pioneer and you create your own blueprint for you to follow. And you just be yourself. You just be your authentic self, and you just do your own thing, man. Life is not meant to be taken so seriously, man. Just live a light life. Just live a light life. Just be happy. Just, if you want to laugh at something, laugh. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to scream, scream. Like, we are beings of emotions. Like, there is no such thing as a perfect human, except Jesus. Now, if Jesus was to come back, then yes, I will be trying to be like him. I'm not even going to lie to you. But in my own way, I'm going to be I'm not going to try to be like him. I'm going to be following the things that he does in my own way. If he does come back, I hope so. We need him bad. I think they got him at the wrong time. We need him now. We didn't need him then. We did need him then, because now we have a blueprint to follow. But God, I know you're listening. Let him, please. Yeah, just dance to the rhythm of your own music, man. You only live this life once. There's only one you. Your authentic version of you, it's not on you. It's not something that you obtained. It's something that you already have within. So just be that. Literally. But this video is going on 40 freaking minutes, y'all. This is the longest video that I have made in a while. But actually, no, someone, I'm gonna put the comment on the screen if I can find it. Someone actually said they wouldn't mind longer videos. So to that person, here you go, a 40-minute video, 40-ish. I'm gonna try and trim it down, but it's not much to trim, because I wasn't really like having really any mental roadblocks in this video. So this video will be about 35-40 minutes. Seriously, y'all, for real, that's all that I have for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it so much. And if you're watching to this part of the video, you are really a real one. And I love you so much. You are really a beautiful soul. And I can tell. And if you are, let me tell you something. You are not your circumstances. I know I'm still going. You are not your circumstances. Whatever you are going through, that does not have to make you out to that does not make you into, what am I trying to say with that? Whatever you're going through, that does not define who you are. You understand what I'm saying? Who you are is within, not on your external reality. Whatever you're going through, man, go through it with a smile on your face rather than a frown, because a smile would just make things 10 times more easier. Even if it's not pleasant, know that being shaken up, let me tell you something. Change is preceded by chaos, which means a lot of the time when a great change is going to happen in your life, there is going to be a lot of what seems to be chaos. But it's important that we adapt that lesson into our life. Is it a lesson? I'm not sure the word I'm looking for right now, but when we are going through some crazy stuff and we're like, dang, this is really crazy, why am I going through this? Know that God is preparing you to be changed. Actually, as you are going through it, you are changing, because you're learning through that change. You understand what I'm saying? Before the chaos happens, that's when you're preparing for the change. The minute you get in that chaos and things start blowing you around, know that you are being changed for the better. Know that you are being changed for the better. I'm really gonna end this video, y'all. For real. That's really all that I have to say. Thank y'all so much for watching to this part of the video, and I will see y'all in my next video. Until next time, bye friends.